Hey everybody, welcome back to the Current MMA YouTube channel. I'm your host, Gordo Gambles, and welcome back to Best Bets. Now, we had a nice week off and we are hitting UFC 273 hard. Now, I don't have to say much about this card. You have those three big fights at the top, two title fights, and of course, the Smash Chain Khamzat Chimaev. It'll be an absolute banger. I'm really looking forward to it. But before we do, make sure you're showing some love to the channel. Best Bets has been doing great for us so far, and there's no better way to show your support than subscribing to the channel and leaving a like button. To give back to you guys, on my YouTube channel at Plays Fade Sports, I'm doing a $25 giveaway, so go check that out. But that's not what's important. You won't need that $25 after we absolutely get rich on this slate right here. Now, before we get into my best bets, I think we should talk about these three big fights. Three massive favorites. You have the unproven prospect, and then you have the two proven champs. All three of those guys, well, I guess not really proven if he's the interim champ, but a really difficult decision to make up top. Now, if we want to talk about them real quickly, I'm all aboard the hype train. I think Khamzat smashes this weekend, and he's been so fun to watch. How can you not cheer for the guy? I think if you want to start off with our very first play of the day, you can still get his inside the distance line at -154 on PokerStars Sportsbook. Maybe not the most known book, but they're giving out some great lines, and that is 30 points better than everywhere else. If you do have access to that book, that line is one of my favorites. Sure, Gilbert Burns is a great competitor, a great guy in the division, but he has shown holes in his game that I think Khamzat's able to exploit. I think he's the real deal. I'm not going to go much longer about it. Smash everybody starting right here. Going over the two big ones briefly, I think that Sterling Yan line's a bit too wide. If anything, I'd be playing Yan 4-5 decision, but that's not going to be official play. Instead, I think I'm going to play a little bit of Sterling on DraftKings just because I see it going those later distance. If you want to play some round props, I think over 3.5 is fine because these are two durable guys, smart fighters. I think Sterling is going a bit overlooked, so that Yan price tag's a bit too steep. But if you want an official play, our first, I will give you multiple today, our first long shot bet of the day is going to be in that main event. I'm taking a stab at it. I'm taking some Korean Zombie at +1,000 inside the distance. Now, I understand Volkanovski, great fighter, great pound for pound, so smart, so diverse, great, well-rounded game plan. But this line's too wide. Simple as that. Korean Zombie's a guy with a lot of power, and he's very smart in his own right. I think the biggest win condition for Korean Zombie is that knockout. Volkanovski has been touched on the chin before, and recently he's been able to be durable. That's against two guys who are not power punchers in Holloway and Ortega. This time, Korean Zombie's gonna be the guy with the most power he's fought in a long time, and I'm not saying that Korean Zombie wins this fight at a high clip. I just think he wins it more than that +1,000 does entail. I think that's his major win condition. Sure, Volkanovski should win, but if you want a nice little sweat, Korean Zombie inside the distance is a nice little one to look at there. All right, first money line play of the day is going to come in on Kay Hansen, sitting around +100 right now. Now with her, you can either invest in her OnlyFans or you can invest in her winning this fight here. She's getting a debutant, Piera Rodriguez, someone who has very good power on the feet, but with a very untested ground game. Kay Hansen coming off the loss to Jasmine Judavicius, a fight that people still have a lot of recency bias on because she was not able to take down and dominate Jasmine. Problem with that was she was facing a much bigger fight at 125. This time she's dropping back down to 115 and will have the ability to dominate against a fighter who doesn't have a good ground game. Yes, on the feet, Piera Rodriguez is the better striker. Kay Hansen's hittable. That's a known fact, but the truth is, if he gets to the mat, Kay Hansen can be the much superior fighter. Her wrestling, her jiu-jitsu, a lot better than Piera Rodriguez. I think that if she's able to get her down there, she wins that fight at a very high clip. Give me the plus money to go along. I'm liking Kay Hansen this week. All right, let's look at something a bit more juiced. I'm taking the under in the Malott versus Gal fight. Now, Malott, a fellow Canadian, and he's a guy with a lot of first-round finishes. Look at his record. This man is a killer with a great skill set. The only reason I'm not taking him inside the distance is because he has a bunch of question marks in his own right. Not very active, has been finished, has been hit in the chin. His biggest weakness is that striking defense. However, I still think he wins this fight. He's facing a guy here in Mickey Gall who has some holes to be exploited. Gal has been finished before and seems to empty his gas tank early. I think this spot that Mike Malott can either take advantage of early, or Mickey Gall can capitalize on those holes that Mike Malott has. I think at -170, under 2.5, it's a great look this weekend. All right, I know you guys want that big plus money number, so let's give you the second long shot of the night. We are taking it in the Ian Garry fight. We're taking him to win by submission. Ian Garry, very hyped up prospect. I have him winning this fight. It has a decent parlay piece himself, but I think the money lies in the submission line at +750. We just think this is very wide. His opponent, Darian Weeks, is a boxer, not a very good ground game. What we see Ian Garry having is a very well-rounded skill set. His ability to lock up that neck whenever he gets on the back of the opponents. And Darian Weeks gives up his back a ton when trying to get up. I think that if Ian Garry isn't having as much success on the feet, he will take him down. He will look to take advantage of it. And the difference on the mat is night and day. I think that line is super, super wide. Ian Garry definitely has a better chance to submit him than plus 750 does in tail. Let's make some big money on that one. All right, the final play here on the Current MMA channel is going to be a juicy parlay. I know, not the best thing for EV down the road, but I think it's going to be a very, very violent card, and I want to take advantage of it. First leg, we are taking the under in the Hernandez versus Frem fight. Frem making his debut. Both guys, a lot of finishes on their records, and also have a lot of holes and opportunities to be finished. I think this ends one way or the other. The under 2.5 is minus 300, juiced, but appropriately by decision. Second leg, we're going to the old man fight. I missed out on watching Alexei Oleinik when I was in Columbus a couple weeks ago. He's getting a very, very different matchup here against Vanderaa. This is very, very simple for me. Oleinik is an elite grappler facing a guy in Vanderaa who has been sub before. If it gets to the ground, the difference is night and day. Finish for Oleinik if it does get there. The problem is he's 44. We don't know how strong he is. Vanderaa is a big guy who has decent chops on the feet. I think that it finishes one way or the other. Either Vanderaa up top, hurting my friend Alexei Oleinik on the feet, sending him to the retirement home, or Oleinik getting him down, adding another win to his resume. The boa constrictor is deadly on the ground. If you take the under 2.5 in both those bouts, minus 115 line right now, I like that. I think that is a good way to round out our betting card. Now, of course, as always, these are not the only plays I'm playing. If you want to know more, check me out on Twitter at GamblesGord. I'll be posting my full slate there Saturday morning. And in terms of my DFS and full card predictions, check me out on YouTube at PlaysFaze. As I mentioned earlier in the video, $25 giveaway. Go check out the video on that channel to see how to make that money. But that's going to do it for me on the Current MMA YouTube channel. Once again, if you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I do these each and every week and have a lot of fun doing so. We've had some good success. We're looking to keep that rolling here at UFC 273. I hope everybody enjoys the fights, and let's make some money, guys.